Hi everyone, it's Alice. I know it's been a long time since my last video, but I'm back and hopefully I'll have a lot more videos in store. So a week or two back, my mom and brother and I went to Los Cabos in Mexico. So it's actually located at the bottom of Baja California, which is that peninsula that extends to the south of California state. It's a really great place to go if you're looking for a really relaxed, fun kind of combination of Mexico, but also just a really nice relaxation area, just because it has the desert, it has the ocean, and basically everything in between filled out with a bunch of really awesome Mexican culture. I had never been to Mexico before. That was the first time, and I would highly recommend it. If you're planning a trip there, I'll show you what to do. Los Cabos is actually a combination of two separate cities. The first one is San Jose del Cabo, and the other one is Cabo San Lucas. So depending on where you want to stay, either one is good. I would recommend that you just kind of look at the different things that you want to do, or the different beaches or the places to stay. San Jose del Cabo is the one where you'll actually see the city center. It's where most of the resorts are, so if you're looking for a more luxurious stay, I would actually go there. Now, if you're looking for something more party, more hip, something that has a lot more beaches, and where most of the activities are actually going to be located, you might want to stay in Cabo San Lucas. It's really up to you. We stayed in San Jose del Cabo and we did a ton of adventure activities, so even if you decide to stay in Cabo San Lucas, it'll be totally fine. The drive between them is only 25 minutes, so if you rent a car, it's going to be super easy for you. Now, because this area is actually a combination of desert and ocean, you have all kinds of activities that can be done in both of those locations. So for us, we had 4 full days to make sure that we covered everything, and my brother definitely wanted to do everything that he could, so we ended up having a pretty busy schedule. When you're planning your own schedule, I would recommend doing something of the same, but keeping in mind that your normal physical condition needs to play a part, because if you normally exercise a lot, you're going to be fine with a busy schedule, but if you don't, if you try to do too many things in a single day, you're going to be really tired at the end and not actually enjoy your vacation. So it depends on you. For us, we had 4 days. So the first day we actually went snorkeling. Snorkeling was really fun. I have done it before over in Thailand. Here, one of the cool things about Los Cabos is that you have a really nice combination of beautiful waters, really crystal clear, and a coral reef in the actual water itself. So with the coral reef comes a plethora of different fish, and with snorkeling you can't get too close to the fish, but you are at the top and you can see everything that is actually in the water. And one thing that our guide did I thought was really cool was he brought in some fish food. So once we were in the water, he put the fish food all around us so we could see the beautiful fish everywhere. I did get a little bit seasick. I think it was a combination of exerting myself a lot in the water and then the actual rocking of the boat while we boated out there. So do be mindful of that. The second day we actually ended up going zip lining. So this was also really fun because it was more of a desert activity. There are actually a couple of different national parks in and around Los Cabos, and one of them had this giant canyon, which was really cool because at the bottom of the canyon was kind of a tropical climate with palm trees and a little river running through it, but the whole rest of the canyon was actually totally desert, so lots of sand, lots of trees, and it just made for a really cool backdrop while we were going ziplining. So our group ended up only being 6 people, which was really cool because our guide told us in the morning they had a total of about 40 people in that same group. So try to go in the afternoon if possible. The other thing that we did was surfing and ATVs on the 3rd day. So I personally didn't go surfing because to me it seemed like I would just be entirely pooped at the end of it. But after watching my brother, even though he failed a lot at first, it did look really fun. So there are a couple different beaches scattered around Los Cabos that are really perfect for surfing, and because of that, you'll see a ton of people on the beaches all together. It was my brother's first time, so he did end up taking a class. I think the private class that he ended up taking was only about $20 or $30 more than the group class. So if you can afford it, if you're really serious about trying out surfing, I think the private class would be a really, really great benefit, just because you have one person focused on you rather than one person focused on something upwards of 15 different people. For the ATVs in the afternoon, I'm not a great driver, and I was actually really nervous to be driving ATVs around, but I would also highly, highly recommend it. And my brother said this was probably one of his favorite days because of the surfing and the ATVs in the afternoon. But what we ended up doing was driving through the desert, and there were a couple stops where you could actually see the ocean meet the desert, which was a really, really cool thing I'd never seen before. The ATVs are really, really exciting. You get to go through a lot of bumpy roads, a lot of sharp turns, and even though I was really nervous the whole time, I absolutely had a blast. Now, the fourth day was actually my absolute favorite day, and I would highly, highly recommend this if you have never done it before. So on the fourth day, we ended up going scuba diving. So my brother and I went scuba diving. This has been something that has been on my bucket list forever, and I had considered going to Australia, and going to the Great Barrier Reef had always been on my bucket list, but I'm really glad I got to go in Los Cabos. And the morning of, I was pretty nervous already, but it wasn't too bad. And when I found out that it was actually going to end up being a private class with just my brother and me and the instructor, I was really surprised, because I assumed that a lot of people would want to do scuba diving as well. But luckily, it turned out just to be the two of us. And it actually ended up taking me 3 separate tries to actually submerge into the water. The only type of preparation or prior experience that I had was snorkeling, which we had done on one of the previous days, and I'd had done snorkeling before. But scuba diving was an entirely different experience. It took me a long time to feel safe under the water, even though, like, logically I know that I was. But once we actually got down to the water, the sand was an absolute beautiful white. The coral reef was all kinds of different colors. There were pinks, there were purples. I mean, it was just absolutely blossoming with life. Like, it felt like a National Geographic video being filmed down there. And the visibility was absolutely amazing. There were 2 or 3 schools of fish that totally swam past my brother and me. And we got to see 2 or 3 stingrays kind of hiding in the sand on the ground as well. So unfortunately, I have no footage of that. Would have been really, really cool to have, but it's something that will be seared and treasured in my memory for, I would say, decades to come. So I definitely fell in love with scuba diving there, and I would absolutely want to try again. So even though I'm still really scared of it, I think it's really, really worth it to try again. Unfortunately, we weren't able to schedule every single outdoor activity that is offered there into our schedule, but if you're interested in something like jet skiing or parasailing or camelback riding, they have a lot of camelback rides on the beach towards the ocean, so that can be really, really beautiful as well. They have all kinds of different activities and all different levels as well. So if you're into snorkeling, or if you're an advanced snorkeler, if you're an advanced scuba diver, for example, they can take you to a lot of different places. I also totally forgot to mention the other activities that you can do just to fill the time in between all these different action adventure sports that are available in Los Cabos. So some of the best things that you can do are just go to the beach, sit by the beach, sit at the pool of your hotel if you have one, or just go downtown to either of the cities that are part of Los Cabos. So in a lot of them, they have really local Mexican food. They have all types of souvenirs. They have pharmaceutical drugs in the case that you are looking for something in particular. And at our hotel and resort, for example, we actually had a huge list of hotel activities that were available to us all throughout the day, every single day. So they included things like a movie by the pool, yoga, beach volleyball, all these different activities that you can share with other people who are staying there. So that's a really good opportunity as well to just make sure you maximize the value of whatever hotel you're staying in. Or if you're just really tired and you don't want to go out, those can offer some really good choices just to make sure that you have something to do, but you don't have to go too far. So I would say that Los Cabos is beautiful. It's a place that I'm super, super glad that I went. I had actually never heard of it before until my mom decided that we were going. So I had an absolute blast. Check out these other videos for some more information about Los Cabos when I get to posting those videos. And if you haven't already, please like and subscribe. I hope these tips have been really helpful for you, and I will see you again next time. Bye!